so there are two sides to trauma that would need different orientations, different care. One is tools, techniques, and the other one is where you're being guided from within as to how to be, you know, and 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 both have value.
I like that thought, dance with self. I like that. Thank you.
Yeah, I thought you might, because it seems like your language.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is my language. Yeah. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you too. And this goes for anything that you're encountering. You know, it doesn't have to be all the way from trauma to more like less maybe contracted, or larger blocks, smaller things like just fear arises or something like that. In psychology, a lot of people tend to orient towards tools and techniques, right? To get themselves out of little stuck behavior patterns, but that while it's a resource, it's not the ultimate resource in the end. It's something to value when needed. But to live, we want to be self-led in the end, right? And I'm not saying to not reach out for help. You all know that I don't say that. But for 3/4 of the time at least, we need to be self-led. And then for some people, it'll be 100% of the time. But that's the path of the yogi. That's the meditator's path. That's a spiritual depth path, is to be self-led and to be guided from intelligence that lives within. And when it's not like really radical pain body stuff rising from trauma, where I do think we do need help, because it's the fight or flight, and there are all these different things that take place when we're responding from trauma. There are these different patterns of behavior that take place that need kind of like a little jolt of help. Kind of like a deer in the headlights. If you ask, if you're a deer in the headlights, you don't have the ability to be sensitive to your inner, what's going on inside. You're just a deer in headlights, right? So you might need someone else to help with that, to remove that response. That's just one of, I think there are 4 or 5 main responses that people do when they're caught in trauma. And so, just be sensitive as to when you feel like you're in a pattern of being stuck, to not, or keep hitting your head on the a wall, like, I should be getting through this on my own. I should be getting through this on my own. If you're not getting through it on your own, then seek help, EMDR or whatever you might need, somatic work, body work, tapping. You can even do tapping yourself, learn tapping, and things to just get out of these kind of things. That life is really can be so challenging. And then some circumstantial stuff may come in where we get a curveball from circumstances, your roof springs a leak, or a loved one is going through a hard time, or whatever it is. Yeah. That can just trigger latent, dormant trauma that needs resolution and help in the moment. And we're not immune to that just by being spiritually minded, because we're still, we still have an animal nature, and animals have to get trauma. Animals, if you have an animal, they have memory in their bodies of certain things that take place, right? If they have a tough beginning, I have a dog that had a tough beginning and she still has some behavior patterns from that tough beginning she may never overcome. Who knows? So trauma lives in us and it can be retriggered through different circumstances. Someone dies, we have to move. Well, different things can trigger. And I have seen people go through trauma therapy and work and really come out the other side and come back to their spiritual path in a more tranquil, peaceful kind of embodied way, because it's whatever was there has been surfaced and I don't want to say removed, but more like in a combination of dissolved and integrated, with a coherence, inner coherence that can handle it. It's now like, we're all going to contain rocky things that we have from the past. Everyone here. But really what it is your nervous system, your mind and body and spiritual self. Is it able to live with it in it and not have it lead? It might be a part of you, part of the puzzle of you, a big picture puzzle, and when some pieces may be just wounded forever, just like the body as it ages, it will have parts that are just not the best functioning. But as a whole, the whole puzzle of you, is it, for the most part, is it functioning in a coherent way where you can feel your heart, where you have access to your emotions in a healthy way, where you can meet others and with kindness and love, where you're able to still be creative and still want to accomplish things in life. You have a will for life still that has some joy in it. That's the puzzle of you want to have be predominant, even with these parts that have taken a hit, if that makes sense.